Hello, little spooks.
I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Lexi. Welcome to the Guard Up by Demons podcast, where we discuss all things horror.
So happy November, everyone. Today we'll be doing original versus remake, a new topic for the podcast where we watch the original and remake of a horror movie and compare the two. This week we watched Brian De Palma's 1976 and Kimberly Pierce's 2013 Carrie.
Woo! Woo!
So with this new, I guess, like, topic segment, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We are not going to go over the movie as we do, like, scene by scene.
Nope.
We are just comparing the two. But if you want a little synopsis of the movie, it is basically, both are about this teen girl named Carrie, who is basically an outcast in both of these movies. She is bullied excessively by a group of girls.
Gross.
Later on she finds out she has telekinesis.
Which is fun.
Yeah. She has a very abusive religious mother.
Lovely.
Very. And everything just goes to shit at the end of the movie during the prom scene.
Naturally, you guys know it. It's referenced everywhere. If you don't know this somehow, then you're gonna find out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are gonna find out.
This is the definition of fucking around and finding out.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Technically, these type of episodes where we do the original versus remake, it's mostly for people who have already seen these.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen these, but you probably want us to watch it and do, like, our regular scene for scene breakdown of movies, let us know. But this is honestly just for people who have seen these movies already.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you haven't, then you can watch it anyway. Guarantee you already know how the story goes.
That's just if you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
You know? If you don't want to, you don't have to watch this or hear this.
I also do want to mention this, Carrie is based off of a Stephen King novel.
Yes.
I think it's one of his first.
It is his very first one.
Thought so. I think I even remember hearing, when James was doing the kill count for the original Carrie, he mentioned that when they were advertising the movie, they spelled Stephen King's first name wrong.
Yes, because he was relatively new in the scene.
Yeah.
So they didn't know.
They spelled it with a V instead of a PH.
Yep.
Which I think is really funny. But, it's fine. Everybody knows who Stephen King is now at this point.
Pretty much. So we both watched both movies, and we both took notes. Lexi has told me that she basically wrote down, like, key scenes of which ones we would probably talk about.
Yes.
With comparisons. I, on the other hand...
You went balls deep in background and shit.
So I, on the other hand, took note of the score, the box office, fun facts for both movies, with the reception it got between critics and just general audiences, plus Stephen King himself. I went into the characters, and, well, the characters we can talk about when we get into, like, scene for scene stuff.
Yes. I also do want to say, we will also give our opinions on the movies as well.
Yes, we
and
will.
It will be fairly obvious which one we like more.
Yeah, which is the general opinion of everyone, honestly.
Yeah.
Or for most people.
Yeah.
Honestly. So why don't we start with the score?
The score. So I did take note that the score, is the original one I prefer for sure. Mm-hmm. Especially the beginning in the locker room, where it's got this very dreamlike moment of bliss while Carrie is taking a shower after gym class. And then it becomes tense when she finds out she gets her first period. But in the remake, it's tense immediately. Like, and it makes you feel like, this is one of my complaints about this particular scene, is because it makes you feel like she's, like, gonna get murdered, even though she's not. But I like what they did with the original, because clearly this part for Carrie, like, after gym in the shower, is, like, a moment of peace after being, like, fucking belittled and shit after not doing so well in a game of volleyball during gym class.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really didn't like how they did the score in this particular scene in the remake. It just, I don't know, there's something about it, it feels off. It doesn't fit well.
No, yeah, I can see that. Definitely.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah. So if you guys want to know who did the score for 76, the score for Carrie, the original, was composed by Pino Donaggio. In addition, Donaggio also scored 2 pop songs, which are called Born to Have It All and I Never Dreamed Someone Like You Could Love Someone Like Me, which are in the movie.
Oh, that second song is when her and Tommy are dancing at prom, isn't it?
Yes.
That's fucking cute.
So the early portion of, it was in the early portion of the prom sequence. These songs were performed by Katie Irving, sister of Amy Irving and daughter of Priscilla Pointer, which those 2 are in the movie.
Neat.
So Amy Irving plays Sue, and Priscilla Pointer plays her mother.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
And then for Carrie 2013, the score was composed by Marco Beltrami. Notable movies he has worked on is Scream 1 through 4.
Oh, shit.
He also scored Curse, which is another Wes Craven movie.
Nice.
He scored 2002's 2002's Resident Evil. We got Halloween H2O, Joyride, Hellboy, and this is going to be your favorite, The Woman in Black.
Oh, shit! Let's fucking go! What the fuck? What the fuck did he do wrong here?
So, here is the thing. I have listened to both the original and remake soundtracks. And I have to agree with Lexi that the original one is my favorite.
Yes.
Out of both of them, because with the original one, you can pinpoint each scene from the soundtrack.
We had this discussion earlier where we couldn't, we were thinking of a moment with certain kind of music where it was reminiscent of the original, but we didn't know where the fuck it was. We couldn't remember where it was.
No, but so the thing is, with the original soundtrack, when you listen to it fully, you can pinpoint, like, what scene it's from without even looking at the title tracks. You can pinpoint which scene it's from. You can feel what was going on in that scene, and it's memorable.
Yes.
But with the 2013 one, honestly, I could hear bits of, like, the music here and there, but it wasn't really present in the movie.
It was really present at some point. I think it's, like, at the ending of the prom scene. Yeah. But I don't remember exactly when. I know it was towards the end of the movie, but I don't remember when.
So honestly, to summarize, it's memorable for the original, but honestly, the 2013 one is pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It is sad.
It's very sad, because music can make or break a movie.
Yeah.
And you can have, like, your scores where it comes up when something, like, scary happens or anything, but I noticed with, like, 70s and 80s movies, the music really moves the movies.
Yes.
And then now when we hit, like, the 2010s and 2020 movies, they're just there for effect.
Yeah. Especially, like, jump scare stuff.
Yeah.
Because basically the main characters always have an orchestra following them, which is funny, but it's fine.
Also, I think Carrie's theme in the original is very beautiful.
Yes, it's
Carrie's
very
theme
pretty.
Is very beautiful.
I just personally, as a person, you guys listen to us for some reason. Personally, I think, and we'll discuss this more later, I do think I admire Sissy Spacek as an actress more than Chloe Moretz. But I'll express this now. I think Chloe Moretz is not the right actress for Carrie. Because she is... Let me put it this way.
You can express that when we talk about characters, honestly.
Okay, that's fair. Let me hold my tongue then.
Because I think that's better when we talk about characters.
I'll hold my tongue for now. But I do like Sissy Spacek a lot. And I didn't, like, when I found out because I I, like, knew about her from The Help. And I knew of Carrie, but I didn't know she was Carrie. And when I found out about that, I got really excited.
Yeah.
The Help is also a really, really good movie. Highly recommend it. The book is also really good. But anyway, moving on.
So let's move on to like box office.
Oh boy.
So for the original, honestly, Carrie was like a success. So it earned 14 million in theatrical rentals in the United States and Canada.
Oh,
and
that's... I want to put in inflation for that. Hold on, I want to look that up. Keep going. I want to look it up.
And in January 1978, from a gross of 33.8 million, in its first 19 days, from 16 markets, the film had grossed 3,882,827, and overseas, the film earned rentals of 7 million of a worldwide total of 22 million, which the total domestic and worldwide should be 59,682,827, with only a budget of 1.8 million.
That's not a lot for a movie.
No. So with Carrie 2013, Sony estimated that the revenue for the opening weekend would be between 16 million and 18 million, while others estimated a bigger margin of 24 million and 28 million due to it being the Halloween season, because it premiered October, I think, 15th or 18th.
I mean, it's smart to release a horror movie during Halloween, so I mean...
Well...
But something tells me this did not come to fruition.
However, the final takings totaled to 16.1 million.
Ouch.
And the film ranked at number 3 behind Gravity and Captain Phillips, both of which were in their second and third weeks.
Yike.
Yeah. So, by the end of the week, the film managed to gross 20.1 million. And in 2 weeks, the film slipped to 62.8% in 6th place with 5.9 million. And then 43.2% to 9th place in its third week, and it got 3.4 million. And then at the end of its run, the film grossed 35.3 million in North America and 49.5 million in other countries, for a worldwide gross of 84.8 million, and the movie's budget was only 30 million.
Oof. Big oof. You know, like, I guarantee people to go see this and we're like, do not go see this. Like, because word of mouth really helps with this kind of thing.
It's always word of mouth. Always word of mouth. Because obviously, like, the first week, the first few days, there's always going to be people who are curious about it. Mm-hmm. After the first few days, it's just word of mouth whether or not you should see it.
Ouch. Oh, no.
So, yeah. This...
I have to agree. This is a no thank you, bro.
Yeah. So that was box office. Let's move on to reception.
Uh-oh.
So, Carrie 1976. Carrie received widespread criticism, acclaim, and cited as one of the best films of the year. And the site Rotten Tomatoes gave the film an approval rating of 93% based on 67 reviews and an average rating of 8.3 out of 10. And the website's critical conscience reads, Carrie is a horrifying look at supernatural powers, high school cruelty, and teen angst, and it brings us one of the most memorable and disturbing prom scenes in history.
Oh, yes.
On Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating based on the reviews, the film has a weighted average score of 85 out of 100 based on 14 critic reviews, indicating universal acclaim. And this is Stephen King's reception of it. So, Stephen King has said that after watching Carrie for the first time at an early screening with his wife, that Carrie was a monster hit, and after the audience reaction, he praised Brian De Palma for doing something new in horror at the time.
Yeah, and Stephen King is pretty well known for, like, depending on what you're talking about, not being a big fan of his movies, or his books being turned to films, like The Shining. And I think he might have had some trouble with maybe? I don't know.
I guess he's known for that, but also it just really depends.
It does really depend, but...
Because it's his own interpretation of, like, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. Which is understandable. Like, when you write something so successful, you really want, like, the movie to capture that. And it can be very difficult to do that. And I feel like sometimes, especially for a horror, like, thing, because he might have something completely different pictured in his head while he's writing something, and then the film can come out with something, to him, completely and utterly ridiculous looking. But it's nice to know that he praised 76 Carrie.
Yeah.
Because it's a very, very good movie. I like it a lot. It's probably one of my favorite horror movies we've watched recently.
So here are some of the things that critics have said. So, Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times stated that the film was an absolutely spellbinding horror movie, and as well as an observant human portrait, giving 3.5 stars out of 4.
Nice. That's a weird rating, because it usually would be out of 5, but you know what? It's fine. Yeah. 3 out of 4, nice. 3.5 out of 4, even.
And another critic is Pauline Kael of the New Yorker. Wrote that Carrie was one of the best scary/funny movies she's ever seen since Jaws. A teasing, terrifying, lyrical shocker.
Yeah, it is kind of funny watching Chris be smacked around by Rita, by Miss Collins. At least in the first one. Or the original, rather.
And we have Stephen Farber.
Mm-hmm.
Wrote in, 1978 issue of New York West magazine, saying that it's a horror classic, and years from now it will still be written and argued about, and it would still be scaring the daylights out of new generations of moviegoers. And honestly, he was right.
Yeah. I remember seeing, I didn't watch the full thing, but years ago I saw the last 20 minutes of Carrie, which is the scariest part of Carrie, and it scared me, because I was just getting over my fear of blood.
Yeah.
And it did not help. But it's still, watching it full through, because this was my first time watching it full through, I really enjoyed it. And it's really scary.
Oh, it is.
Honestly, it's of course it is, it's on purpose. The last 20 minutes is the scariest part of the movie, because the rest of the movie has scary imagery and of course the abuse with Carrie, but like I wouldn't necessarily deem it a horror movie until we get to prom. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, but honestly, not all horror movies have to have kills in every scene.
That's true. But like, not even that, because not every horror movie has to have like kills, period. But for the most part, it's throughout the movie, it's most about this girl who's being horribly bullied all the fucking time, because high school girls just don't have anything better to do, I guess, and she takes revenge. It's a revenge movie, for sure. In a not acceptable way, but, like, what else can you do at that point? Like, in her mind, what else could I do? Yeah.
Also, here is the reception to the 2013.
Oh boy, here we go.
So the site Rotten Tomatoes reported a 50% approval rating with an average rating of 5.49 out of 10 based on 187 reviews. Eesh. The website's critical conscience reads, it boasts a talented cast, but Kimberly Pierce's reimagining of Brian De Palma's horror classic finds little new in the Stephen King novel and feels woefully unnecessary.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's a generous 50%. And fucking, this is not a horror movie, but A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray have a fucking 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
That is irrelevant, but okay.
This is just, like, where I'm like, Rotten Tomatoes is, like, questionable, I feel like.
Okay, but, like, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is very fucking questionable. Very questionable. But this is where my sources come from.
That's fair. Just like, damn.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So for Cinema Score, gave the film an average grade of a B- on an A+ to F rating.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have given it a D-.
Honestly. There's a lot of, like, people who have given favorable, critiques with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this one where it says, long before the blood starts spilling, it's clear the new team has mostly nailed it. The reboot is as good as a Carrie remake as possible, though it's not truly a scary film. The film takes its time living up to its R rating.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's...
I just don't have a whole lot of praise for the 2013 Carrie. Like, it's boring.
Yeah.
And I've always said the worst thing a movie can be is boring. And it's boring. Oh my god, is it boring.
So A.A. Dowd of the AV Club gave the film a C- rating.
Damn. That's rough, buddy. Yeah. God.
So this is King's reception of this.
Uh-oh.
So Stephen King doesn't seem to feel like as positive about the 2013 Carrie remake.
I'm sure.
In fact, he told Entertainment Weekly that he doesn't understand why the film was going to be potentially remade when De Palma did such a great job to begin with. And after viewing this version, he said he was not fond of it at all.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Y'all kind of fucked up.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess they took it as him just not liking adaptions of his books.
Yeah. But with that being said, that's counterintuitive because he said he really liked the original.
Exactly. But the thing is, some people are just going to be like, oh, well, it's just he doesn't like his adaptions of his books. And I'm like, no.
Look at the history of Carrie for a second, you guys. He liked the original. Come on.
Exactly.
Don't be in denial. It's a bad movie. 2013 is a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's a very bad movie,
It's
honestly.
a tight hour and 40 minutes. Oh god, it's a tight hour and 40.
Well, there's a reason for that, honestly.
Oh, really?
For the movie being pretty forgettable.
Oh boy.
Okay, so why don't we just jump into, like, fun facts for both these movies?
Okay.
So I'll start with 76. So when the fire hose is sprayed at PJ Souls...
I know about this one.
the water pressure actually bursts the actress's eardrums.
Yeah.
And Souls was not actually unconscious when her head rolled to the side from the force of the fire hose, but she was in terrible pain.
Yeah, and they kept a shot for that.
Yeah, so...
Woo.
Yeah, this is what I have here, that Brian De Palma decided to keep the shot in. Souls had no hearing in that ear for about 6 months afterwards.
Jeez, man.
Though the eardrum did eventually heal.
That's good. I'm glad. That sucks, though. By the way, she plays Norma, the girl who's always wearing her baseball cap.
Yes.
No, even at prom, which I think is really fucking dumb, but, you know, it's her character.
So Sue Snell and her mother Eleanor are played by real-life daughter and mother Amy Irving and Priscilla Pointer.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, damn, they really look alike, but I should have figured that, yeah, they're actually mother and daughter. They have the same eyes, the same hair,
yes.
Same facial structure.
So in the last scene of the film, Amy Irving's outburst so terrified her mother, her real-life mother, that she screamed out Amy instead of Sue, and she had never seen her daughter that hysterical and called out her real name in concern.
Aww.
However, the loud ending music covered the mistake.
Okay, good. Damn, that's... Ooh, when you scare your mom like that, and she's an actress and knows or is supposed to know that it's acting, shit, you know you did a good job.
So Nancy Allen, the girl who plays Chris, claimed she never realized her character was going to be evil, like so evil, until she saw the finished movie.
Oh, no.
She thought that she and John Travolta were playing such self-centered bickering morons that they were going to be the comic relief.
Oh.
Piper Laurie also thought the character of Margaret White was so over the top that the film had to be a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't she come out of retirement just for that role?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I really, I've seen her in a couple of interviews. She seems like a really, really nice lady. Also, I really love her hair. It's very pretty.
It is. So while speaking at a book event in Fort Myers, Florida in 2010, Stephen King recalled that he was paid just $2,500 for the movie rights to Carrie, which may seem like he would regret it, but he honestly has no regrets, and he says that I was fortunate to have that happen to my very first book.
That's very true. I was getting ready to be like, wow, 2000 is really not a lot, but like, I'm also thinking of the fact that he's had so many other successful novels and stuff that it probably doesn't matter. But again, he also really liked the movie, so it probably doesn't matter in that aspect either.
Again, but you have to think that it's the 70s. He got paid $2,500.
That is a lot for the 70s.
And the fact that it was his first book.
Yes.
His very first book.
He probably feels like he did so much better than he thought he would.
Yeah. Honestly.
Which, I mean, praise.
Good for him.
I really want to read Carrie as well. It's like one of his, like, shortest novels, I think. Mm-hmm. Partly because it's his first, but then I have his thickest right over there. Fucking it's... Oh, Jesus. It's a fucking hefty book.
Amazing. So the next one is, ever the stickler for authenticity, Sissy Spacek insisted that she, and not a double, be the one whose hand shoots up out of Carrie's grave during Sue Snell's nightmare.
Yeah.
So she positioned herself under the rocks and gravel. De Palma stated, in his words, "Sissy, come on, I'll get a stunt person. What do you want? To be buried in the ground?" However, Spacek declared, "Brian, I have to do this." And De Palma explained that they had to bury her, and we had to put her in a box and stick her underneath the ground while I had her. That he actually had his husband bury her.
Wait, what?
I said his. I meant her husband.
Oh, I was like,
oops. Yeah, that he had her husband bury her because he certainly didn't want to bury her.
That's fair.
And that he used to walk around to set up the shot, and every once in a while we'd hear Sissy say, like, "Are you ready yet?"
Yeah, her husband's the one who put the blood on her hand at the beginning of the movie as well, when she gets her period. Which, romantic? Question mark? No, but they've been together for a really long time, and I think they're a really cute couple.
Yeah. So according to Piper Laurie, she honestly thought her character was too over the top, fanatical to be taken seriously. Brian De Palma had to take her to the side and personally tell her that it was a horror film and not a black comedy, as she thought it was. Even so, she would constantly burst into laughter between takes because not only was her characterization and wardrobe laughable in her eyes, but the dialogue itself was humorous for her.
Yeah. And that's understandable, because without the context, it's probably really funny, but in context, she's really scary.
Yeah.
She's really scary.
So if you have read the book, you know that the ending of the movie is different from the ending of the novel, and in fact, Stephen King liked the ending in the movie better than the ending in his own book.
Damn. That's pretty neat. Shit.
So, yeah, if you don't know, the ending in the novel, Carrie actually stopped her mom's heart.
Yeah, I told you that when we were watching it as well.
And in the movie, she just gets impaled by a lot of kitchen objects. And the thing is, that was because De Palma actually came up with the objects flying towards her, stabbing her, you know? Mm-hmm. Because he didn't feel like Carrie just stopping her heart had that much of an impact. After they had done, like, after they came up, not finished filming, after they came up with the prom scene. Mm. So he thought that it would be a little overwhelming.
Gotcha.
Underwhelming. Yeah.
Oh, man, she could have yoinked her mom's heart out, though, too.
Oh, I know.
That's fine. The knives and the scissors work, too, though.
It does. It was really good.
Don't worry about the wires if you see them, by the way. They're not there. It's
an old movie. You're going to get an HD version. Of course, you're going to see the wires.
It's okay. Still really good.
So while filming the bloody prom sequence, Sissy Spacek's trailer was parked behind the set, and after being covered in fake blood for continuity purposes, Spacek refused to wash the effect off and elected to instead to sleep in her bloody clothes for 3 days of filming.
Holy shit! Yes. That's dedication. I like it.
So the name of the high school is Bates High, a reference to Norman Bates from Psycho. Nice. In addition to the 4-note violin theme from Psycho is used over and over in the film.
Yeah, that's when she's, like, moving shit around for the first time, I think. Like, when she flips the cigarette butts from the principal's desk when she's getting ready to get sent home. And I think when she knocks that little boy off of his bike, telekinetically, I think you can definitely tell it's a nice little nod to Psycho.
Yes.
I think it's really nice. I think it's cool. And it's especially noticeable when she tells her mom that she's going to go to prom, and her mom is going to go shut the windows because it's raining, and Carrie slams all the windows shut, and it has that playing, and I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely like a reference to Psycho, because it's hard to explain. If you know it, then you know, because you watch this scene and watch, I'm guessing, the shower scene from Psycho, you can tell.
It's those notes.
It's those notes.
So originally, Brian De Palma had used a split screen effect extensively during the prom scene. Disappointed with the result, he re-edited most of the scenes in full frame shots, leaving only the few split screen moments that felt that he worked really well.
Yeah. I can't remember what those, like, it's like when...
The split scene one is right after when Carrie starts using her powers in the prom.
Gotcha. And like when she's in class with Tommy and he reads that poem and she really likes it. And he's here and she's like in the background and they're both in focus. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Or is that
no,
split?
that's...
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Never mind. That's a different thing.
Yeah. Well, it is technically a split screen, but it's an effect that you can use with one camera.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
I remember. I forgot that there was a actual like split screen thing there.
Yeah. So Betty Buckley, who plays the gym teacher, Rita, was 28 at the time of filming, only 2 years older than Sissy Spacek, and 3 years older than Nancy Allen and PJ Soles, who play her students.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. She looks like she's in her late 30s and early 40s a little bit.
Mid-30s, honestly.
Mid-30s?
I thought mid-30s.
Yeah, I thought it was like mid-30s up, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's really funny. That's surprising. I wonder if they, like, put any makeup on her or anything for that effect.
I don't know.
But I might be wrong. I don't know.
So Sissy Spacek wasn't considered for the role of Carrie until her husband, art director Jack Fisk, convinced director Brian De Palma to allow her to audition. Until that, De Palma was wedded to the idea of Amy Irving playing Carrie, and when Spacek got the part instead of De Palma, he gave Irving a smaller role of Sue.
That would have been a really interesting thing to do. Because I think she would have made a good Carrie. But Sissy Spacek makes a better Carrie.
Yeah.
Both could have been are great ideas, honestly. But Sissy is perfect for that.
So the next one is Betty Buckley's terrified look on her face right before she gets killed is real, since they hadn't been able to test the falling backboard to make sure it would stop where it was supposed to before hitting her, and no one knew for certain whether it would work or not.
Yeah, that's understandable. Because, I mean, you can get hurt really easily in this kind of environment. Look at the girl who played Norma, busted her fucking eardrums with the water. Yep. Yike.
So, yeah.
That's understandable.
Terrified look on her face is for real.
Yeesh.
So to become Carrie, Sissy Spacek would intentionally avoid socializing with the other actors on and off set. She would stay in her trailer or hide in the corner of or behind the set. And also before this happened, she warned the other actors that although she loved them, she would be avoiding them so she could stay in character. Aww. And she told them that she would have so much fun with them after the movie was finished.
Oh, that's so sweet. Sissy Spacek just seems like a really, really nice person, honestly. That's really sweet. I love you guys, but I kind of have to do this.
So, the prom scene took over 2 weeks to shoot and required a total of 35 takes.
Damn, I thought you were getting ready to say 35 gallons of blood. I was about to be like, that sounds like it tracks.
Amazing.
But no. 35 takes.
So, Sissy Spacek was widely thought to be too pretty for the title role. The character in the book being described as chunky, mousy-haired, and covered in pimples, with Spacek being tall, thin, redhead with clear skin. The character was then rewritten slightly, saying that she would be pretty if she made an effort to tidy herself up a bit.
That's fair. And I have to agree, Sissy Spacek is very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But she did make a very, very good Carrie, because the way she...
It's just the way she presented herself.
Yeah, exactly. She definitely pulled off the, like, the weirdness that is Carrie. Because Carrie is weird, but that's not her fault. It's the way she was raised.
Exactly.
And she's supposed to be kind of weird and kind of off-putting. But, like, not in an uninviting way.
Yeah. Initially, PJ Souls was only cast for 2 weeks, but after she hit Sissy Spacek over the head with her red baseball hat during the volleyball scene, Brian De Palma decided to keep her around longer.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair.
So Sissy Spacek was just 25 years old at the time of filming, and Carrie is actually 17 years old in the novel.
Bless her. Bless her.
Oh my god.
Poor thing.
So Brian De Palma had to dump several scenes from the movie due to budget limitations. One of them being where Carrie blows up a patrol station with her mind as part of the town's destruction, setting it on fire, which is a gas station. Mm-hmm. The effects work would have been too expensive at the time, so a similar scene did end up in the remake.
Oh, with the gas station?
Yes.
Oh, is that when Chris and Billy die?
Yes.
Whoa. I mean, that's cool, but, I mean, I'm not gonna praise the remake too much.
So if you guys are into audiobooks, you will hear a familiar voice. So Sissy Spacek would later perform the audiobook of Carrie.
Yay! Now I want to go listen to that.
And this is the last one that I have.
For the original
one. In the movie, Carrie's prom dress is a light peach-colored satin, and in the book, it's made of red velvet. This explains Piper Laurie's line, "Red, I should have known it to be red," referencing Sissy Spacek's dress in the original script.
Yeah.
Which, since it wasn't red, Sissy ad-libbed the line, "It's pink, mama."
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, it's not completely wrong either, because pink is a variation of red.
Pink is a light red.
Is a very, very light red.
Yes. But you don't consider it red, it's just pink.
It's just pink. But it's pink and white. Or red and white make pink.
Yes.
So, it's not completely wrong. But
if you want to get technical, yes it is.
It's pink. It's pink, mama.
So here we go for the 2013 fun facts. This is the first screen adaptation where Carrie is played by an actual teenager. Chloe Grace Montez was 15 during filming, whereas Sissy Spacek and Angela Bassett, who played the role in Carrie in 1976 and Carrie 2002 respectively, were 25 and 28.
Damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So because Chloe was a minor, she was limited to 8 hours of work per day, and when she was unavailable, director Kimberly substituted, and she would be off screen, and this was only done in the scenes when Julianne Moore would talk to Carrie.
Oh. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So the rocks that rain at the end of the film were real. Stunt doubles were used, so the actresses will not be harmed.
Rocks?
Yes.
God, I don't remember that. I don't remember the rocks.
It also happened in the original. They're like stones and shit falling from the sky into their roof, into their house, when the house is collapsing at the very beginning of it.
I genuinely don't remember that. I have to watch it. Not the remake. I have to watch the original again. I don't remember that. Oh, God. Maybe I was taking notes right then and there. God, that fucking sucks. Whatever. Moving on.
So there is one detail from the prom scene in the novel that's not present in any of the films.
Okay.
Carrie actually stumbles off stage and flees outside before she begins tearing the school apart with her powers, which she does by watching everyone through the window. And in each film version, in 76, 02, and 13 versions, the filmmakers chose to have Carrie standing on the stage above her classmates when she began attacking everyone in the room.
I like that change. Because it makes me feel like that if she were to do that, then the bullies won. But I like that change that they did for the movies. Because they did not win. Clearly.
No.
I mean, technically they didn't win in the book either, but her fleeing would have made it seem like they won for a brief moment.
Exactly. So the film was originally slated to begin with a scene from the novel. A young Carrie wanders into the yard next door and found her teenage neighbor sunbathing. Margaret flies out with her home in a rage and scoops up Carrie and throws a tantrum and summons... Carrie summons a rain of stones, and this prologue was also shot for the original 76, but wound up being deleted in both versions.
Gotcha. I know it was in, was it in the 2002 remake?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think I distinctly remember that. Yeah, I distinctly remember that.
So Chloe Grace Moretz had admitted to not having watched any previous incarnations of Carrie prior to this film. She decided to not watch previous versions since she wanted to create her own spin on the character and not try to copy Spacek or Bettis.
I mean,
which I can see that. I get that because that's happens with most things.
I'm not gonna make too much fun of her because she was 15 at the time, but oh my god, okay. I need a drink.
So the producers communicated with Stephen King, but he did not actually consult on the film.
That makes sense, actually.
Yes. So this fun fact I don't really like.
You don't?
No.
What is it?
So to prepare her for the role, director Kimberly Pierce sent Chloe to a homeless shelter to meet people who had generally lived tough lives.
That's not...
I don't like that.
I don't like that either. Just have her watch the original Carrie. Come on.
I know she wasn't going to watch it anyway.
I know she didn't want to copy Sissy, but like... maybe she needed a little reference, to be honest.
Nah.
But don't do that. That's kind of fucked up. I don't like that. Okay.
So the next one is for the shattered mirror scene. The filmmakers tried to shoot it practically with the shards of glass being manipulated by wires. The results were unsatisfactory, so they just did CGI instead.
Lame.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's plenty of different ways to shatter glass, but CG, I guess. I guess CG is cheaper than practical, though. Right? I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
I guess it depends on the film.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the CG they have in 2013 version of Carrie, I was not a fan of. A lot of it looked pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, it got a fucking $30 million budget, so.
I guess.
So here's a fun fact if you like Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was considered for the role of Carrie White, being suggested by Stephen King himself due to the fact that she looks similar to Sissy Spacek.
That would have been great, though. God damn it. What are we doing?
Also, Sissy Spacek said that she was excited when she heard that Lindsay Lohan would potentially play Carrie White because she really liked that she looked like her, and she thought that she was very pretty.
Aw. You guys let down Sissy. How could you do this? This is no hate towards Grace, by the way, but, like... we'll get to it when we get to it. Fuck.
So Chloe Grace Moretz insisted that she not be told when the fake blood was going to be dumped onto her, as she wanted her own reaction to be authentic.
That I like.
Yeah.
That I do like. That's a clever thing. Yeah, don't tell her. I like that.
So, here is where we get to the reason of the movie.
Okay.
So while Kimberly Pierce was proud of her work on the film, she was disappointed that the studio interference compromised her original vision of the film. Her intention was to make a more faithful adaptation to the novel and not try to imitate the 1976 version. However, studio executives forced her to exercise 40 minutes of footage and reshoot several scenes in order to make the film a true remake of the 1976 version.
Oh, that's why it's a tight hour and 40. Got it. That's lame. Come on.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It's very lame. Like... Now I understand why it feels so weird.
Yeah. It's like weirdly long.
Yeah. Like, if you watch them back to back, like we did pretty much, you can see, like, Kimberly's vision being very weird in the movie because it's, like, some scenes are, like, either weirdly paced or it's... feels like uncomfortable sometimes with the actors.
Like, it's not
like
natural.
Unlike line deliveries. Because, of course, it's a remake. They're gonna have several lines that are the same or scenes that are the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't get across as how it did with the original.
No. It feels like, not blatant, but it feels like a copy more than a remake. It feels like, not film student-esque, but like...
No, but the thing is, a fucking copy is a remake.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's a tight hour 40.
That's why when people see, like, either it could be a remake, which is another carbon copy, a reimagining, which takes the premise but makes it different, or a requel, where a requel is a remake and a sequel to the original.
Oh, weird. I've actually never heard of that term.
Yes, it's pretty new.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay. Carry on.
So, upon the release of the film, many fans, both of the novel and the 76 film, criticized casting of Chloe Grace Moretz in the role of Carrie. Chloe looked nothing like the book version of the role. And they said the same exact thing about Sissy Spacek. So, honestly...
My thing is that...
One,
Chloe...
you can't really judge Chloe because she was a 15-year-old.
Yeah, but I'm gonna judge her anyway because we're criticizing this film. She's just...
But the thing is, okay, so you can't really judge her for how she looks.
No.
Because she can't change that.
No.
But it's just the direction that they took with her character. Yeah. Because it's like, she does look like the quiet girl, but that's it. She doesn't look like she's awkward. She doesn't look like she doesn't look like she's really bothered by anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? It just looks like she's inconvenienced.
Yeah, she also looks like she's just antisocial.
Yeah.
More than anything. The quiet kid. That reads a lot.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't think...
And again, I know you said we don't want to do looks, but like...
No, but I think like antisocial, sure. But it's not to the point where she will actively avoid people, because there are instances where she does not avoid people.
Yeah.
Where she will actively like try to make friends or like try to talk to someone.
Yeah, she just doesn't come off as like weird. You know what I mean? Like, not the kind of weird that Sissy Spacek did with the original Carrie.
Yeah.
Chloe, and again, this is not harshing on Chloe, and it's just I think she had poor direction.
Yeah, but this. Here,
and again, she was a kid. Like,
here's the difference between like Chloe and Sissy. Chloe stated that she did not either read or watch any other iteration of Carrie.
Yes.
Because she didn't want to be influenced. Whereas Sissy, before auditioning and while auditioning, she had read Carrie throughout the whole entire thing, front to back. Mm-hmm. Getting to really know the character that she wanted.
Yes.
So there is a difference where I get that, like, I respect that Chloe wanted to have her own spin on it.
Yeah.
I get that. But I don't think it worked.
No. It helps to get to, like, when Carrie is already an established character from a book, it helps immensely to get to know her as a character. And I understand that she wanted to do her own iteration of Carrie because she didn't want to copy Sissy. But
she could have honestly, like, read the book and gotten some, like, you know, points from it.
Yeah. And if you really think about it, I'm sure Carrie is, obviously, she's going to be pretty similar from the movie and the book, but there's still going to be some differences from the book. And she could have taken unique things from the book that could have made the movie its own thing, rather than being a blatant copy of the original.
Exactly. But with, like, anything that's being adapted from a book, not the characters are not going to look exactly how they are described in the book.
No.
That is pretty much common knowledge. Because they're not going to be able to do it.
They almost never do.
No, they never do. But I do think if you had to, like, choose between which one is favorable, I would think Sissy SpaceX Carrie is favorable.
Yes.
In this one. Because honestly, I think you feel very bad for 76 Carrie. And you just feel kind of sad.
Yeah.
For 2013 Carrie.
But really, you feel really bad for Carrie because, like, clearly the school situation is really rough, and home is definitely not better. Whereas 2013, and I have to say, I love Julianne Moore as Carrie's mom. I think she did a phenomenal job in that movie. Yeah. I think she was
we can talk more about that in characters.
Yeah, we'll talk more about her, but it's my opinion, she did a phenomenal job as
she did.
The mom.
Definitely.
But it's just...
But when it comes to the main title role...
Yes.
I don't think Chloe did the best as she could. Despite being a 15-year-old...
She still did decent for a 15-year-old.
She's still really decent.
But she's still a kid.
Yeah. Which is, like, pretty okay, because honestly, she's just, 2 years younger than the actual character that she's supposed to be playing, which is completely fine. Like, characters of any age fucking play these roles.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't think she either had enough just, like, experience or she just didn't have enough, like, motivation.
It's either those or it's literally just direction. Which I'm not going to blame the director completely because it wasn't the director's fault. Because the director...
Because as we said, fucking studios get in the way.
Yeah, that was not even the director's fault. The blame goes to the studio. Because
clearly...
And you know that...
Kimberly stated that she wanted her own vision of the novel.
And if the studio interfered the way that you just explained, then she probably would have had to really drastically change, like, stuff in the script, like, moves, like... What the fuck is the word I'm looking for? I don't know what word I'm looking for. But it just... Direction-wise, she would have to change things rapidly.
So here's the thing, too. Shit that I found out. The writer from the original 76 screenplay came back to co-write this with the screenwriter for this movie.
Really?
So that could also be why the studio was interfering and they brought back the original scriptwriter for that, which honestly you can tell.
Yeah.
But it does not flow.
It's two different ideas mashing together. It's like not gelling together the way it probably could have.
No. Like you can tell this movie seems fucking long, but it's also feeling rushed at the same time.
That's a perfect way to describe it because like early on, I'm just like, oh my god, this movie is taking forever. I just want to get to the prom scene. And the prom scene comes and goes so fast. And I'm like, well, that's the best part of the movie. Why did it go so quick? But it was probably around close to the same length as the original. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little shorter, but probably not much. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is a tight an hour 40, but it's also quick.
Yeah. But God, all right.
It felt like there was even though I don't think there was, I feel like there was some filler stuff that didn't need to be there in both versions, but mostly the 2013.
About it when we talk about scenes and characters.
Okay, yeah. We'll get to it.
I have two more facts. Yeah, 2 more facts.
Okay.
So Jodie Foster was considered to play Margaret White. Juliana Moore had stepped into the role written for Foster once before in Hannibal.
Nice.
Which, honestly, I love both Hannibal and Silence of the Lambs. So, I was really happy to see Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs, and I was really bummed that she wasn't going to come back for Hannibal, but I was very excited to see Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore is just a great actress.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before. I love Julianne Moore.
Like, honestly,
cool.
I think those two actresses did an amazing job playing Clarice Starling. Fuck yeah. Love them both. And we will get more into Margaret White's character later on.
Yes.
So this is the actual last fun fact that I have for the 2013.
Okay.
So Heather is shown wearing a white baseball cap. This is a reference to the red baseball cap worn by PJ Soles, who played Norma Watson in Carrie in the 76. Catherine Isabel, who plays Tina Blake in Carrie 2002, also briefly wore a white baseball cap.
I wonder what's with the white baseball cap. I need to read the book to find out about that. Because I feel like that's probably a thing in the book. But I don't know. It's fine. Whatever.
I feel like it's just a thing.
It's fine. It's a thing.
But also, if you don't know Catherine Isabel, damn.
Gay Panic?
Yeah.
Nice.
She played Ginger Snaps.
Ah, I see. Okay, I see you.
Alright, should we go into scenes?
Yes! I wrote down key scenes.
Okay, let's go into scenes and then we'll go into characters.
Okay, so, like we said before, we didn't do the scene by scene. I just wrote down significant parts. Like I wrote down, like, who Carrie was played by. Not any of the other characters because I fucking forgot to do that, but it's fine. But I did Carrie because she's just, like, the most significant. Obviously, original Carrie is played by Sissy Spacek, and remake is Chloe Martez. And these two movies open up differently. So, in the original, it opens up with, Carrie is in gym class, and they're outside, and it's just an all-girls, class, which I think it is in the remake as well. And they're playing volleyball. In the remake, they're still playing volleyball, but it's in a pool.
It's water volleyball.
It's water volleyball, which, in my opinion, is really fun. You guys should try that. It's really fun. And that was how the original opened, was with them playing volleyball. However, in the remake, it's opened with Carrie's mom giving birth to Carrie in the remake.
Yeah.
And
that was an additional scene.
That was an additional scene. And I don't know if this was, like, something to do with Carrie's powers or not, but when Carrie is born, Mrs. White goes to stab Carrie, like, fresh out the womb with a pair of scissors, but stops. And I don't know if that was Carrie's telekinetic powers, or if she just, like, loved Carrie so much already that she just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But she did say later in the movie that she loves Carrie and that she just didn't want to kill her. But I don't know. Who knows?
But yeah, if we're comparing both, like, volleyball scenes, I like the original one better. The line delivery in the remake really sucks. Especially Chris saying "you eat shit," it does not come across, like, well in the remake. At all. It's a lot of the lines that are from the original that come up in the remake aren't well done.
No. And they're also, like,
they feel half-assed, honestly.
Yeah. And in the remake, it's like, they're not mean enough. I don't think. This is a shitty thing to say, but they're not mean enough in the remake. Like, for that particular scene.
I don't know. No, they're not.
Like, they're laughing about it because it was an accident. And obviously...
Well, they're laughing at it because there's a difference. In the original, they hit Carrie.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then in the remake, Carrie actually is going to participate. And she throws the volleyball, but it hits Chris in the back of the head.
Whoops. I know that shit hurt. My bad. But, yeah. Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah. And I did note that...
what other scene are we going to talk about?
When they are starting to throw the tampons and pads at Carrie, I did make note that Sue doesn't continuously throw pads and tampons at Carrie in the remake. She just throws the one tampon and then immediately feels bad.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I actually quite like that. I liked Sue's character in the remake. Still not as much as the original.
Yeah. There are some characters that we do like from the remake, and I do think they deserved more time for development.
Yeah.
I wish we got more time with them, you know?
Yeah. And I made note of Carrie is definitely more strange and an outcast in this, whilst in the remake she's more quiet and withdrawn rather than just like, we talked about this already, but like she doesn't come off as being weird. She just seems a normal, shy girl.
Let's continue with the scenes.
What is another one that I did? Oh yeah, when the principal is like, and it's not that significant, but I wrote it down anyway because it was notable to me. The principal in the remake has to only be like reminded of Carrie's name once, but in the original,
it's the whole entire time.
Yeah, he keeps referring to her as Cassie.
Yeah,
which is significant to me because Carrie is like, it's Carrie, and the ashtray gets flipped off of the desk. And I did like, though, that they had a water cooler glass bust in the remake. But
I thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool, but that could be seen as just like an accident that happened.
Yeah.
Instead of deliberately Carrie got upset and made this ashtray fly off the desk.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the remake, she did get upset because they were going to tell her mother what had happened, and she did not want that. That's the only reason why she got upset.
Yeah.
What is another scene?
Let me see here.
I mean, I would think it would be the scene where she goes home with her mom.
Yeah, I made note as well, like, just mentally, that in the remake, Carrie's mom comes to pick her up and is seen as, like, more loving than the original, which, I mean, is... I know what they were going for with the remake, but it's also confusing because... And I guess it's meant to be confusing because Carrie's mom in the remake is really manipulative and just not blatantly terrifying like the original. Whilst in the original, Carrie has to walk home by herself. And that's pretty different. And, like...
Well, she's only walking by herself because her mom is doing her rounds.
Yeah. She's being her Jehovah's Witness kind of shit.
Yeah.
But
also we never see her mom drive, so...
No, she's always walking around in that badass cape that she's got.
I do like that it's the similar scene where they're talking about, like, Carrie's talking about, like, why didn't her mom tell her about, like, her period and stuff like that, because she was, like, really terrified. In the remake, that happens in the car, and she blatantly says that she does not want to go inside, that she'd rather have the conversation out there. And you can tell that she's scared, that she does not want to go inside. But that proceeds with, like, the little kid, like, jump scaring her at the window. Which is
that was a jump scare that didn't scare me at all.
I don't know. Which, the little kid that's on the bike in the original.
Yeah.
That she walks by, you know.
Yeah, in the original, he calls her Creepy Carrie. In the remake, he calls her Crazy Carrie. Which, okay, whatever. Not significant, but I guess. And I did point out that in the original, the mom is more blatantly abusive than the remake. The remake, she does have somewhat very small aspects of tenderness towards Carrie, whilst in the original, no. There's, like, no comfort with her at all.
No.
And she's... I love Julianne Moore, and she was probably the best part of the remake, but... The original, Piper did such a good job in the original. I was scared of her every time she came on screen.
Definitely.
God, she's so scary. What's another one? Oh, I did write down the Saint Sebastian figure, but that was apparently actually in the prayer closet, that I just didn't see it. But that's okay, let's move on. Oh, I did write down Psycho-like music here, I didn't realize. Whoops. That's fine. Let me see. So Sue does regret what she does to Carrie in both versions, although in the remake, she regrets it much faster. And, like, in the moment, she's like, oh, this is pretty bad. Yeah. Whilst she's regretful about it the next day.
Yeah, so we do have that. Well, it's after the punishment scene.
Yes.
After the punishment scene. So, I'd rather talk about the punishment scene first.
Okay.
And the punishment scene is when the gym teacher, Rita...
Or Miss Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Miss Collins. is telling her students that what they did was really shitty.
Yes.
And that the school has said that they're going to be punished for it. And what she thinks should be suspension and refusal of their prom tickets.
Yeah, because the principal gives her free will to punish them however she may seem fit.
Yeah. But she instead says a week's detention, and it has to be her detention, which is like, what, 50 minutes?
50 minutes of workout.
Yeah, 50 minutes of workout.
Which is not bad. Which is not bad.
And if they don't go, they're suspended and they can't go to prom.
Yep. God, Chris really complained about not wanting to do any more exercise with 10 minutes left in the original. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I was like, dude, it's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. Get over it.
That scene in the original, I feel like it had more of an impact because of the character's direction and what Nancy Allen did with her character.
Yeah.
I loved how she had like so much passion in that scene, whereas in the remake it felt half-assed.
Yeah, she sounded like more like a pouty, whiny brat in the remake. Which, I mean, she is in the original as well, but like it's not as forceful in the remake.
This is another one of those things where it's like the original is blending in with the remake and it doesn't come across well.
No.
It just feels like the actors are saying their lines just because they have to. And this is probably because of the studio interference.
Thanks, studio. Good
and
lord.
Then the other scene we have is like, I think both of them where Tommy Ross is Sue's boyfriend, where I think they're both like running track and he sees Sue, and that's when she tells him her idea about asking Carrie to prom instead. So she won't go.
Sue is not running track. She's waiting
No,
for
I
him.
said Tommy's running track.
Oh, he's playing lacrosse in the remake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I took note of that as well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's not track, it's lacrosse, which I've never seen a lacrosse team around here before, but everywhere is different, so it doesn't really matter. But whatever.
I do like both those scenes, though.
Yeah.
In the original and remake. Honestly, a lot of the scenes with, like, Tommy and Sue in both versions, they're really good.
Yeah.
I think they're really, really good.
Yeah. One thing I do want to really point out, because it's really dumb and it didn't happen in the original, there's a whole, like, pregnancy subplot with Sue that is not necessary whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think it was just, like, to get us, as an audience, more sympathy to Sue because she feels bad for what she did to Carrie. But
the thing
it doesn't matter because we already have sympathy for her because we already feel bad for her because she feels bad for what she did to Carrie, and she's like blatantly trying to make things right by having Tommy ask Carrie out to prom because she knows nobody else is going to ask her out to prom.
Yeah, so I do like both.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like both.
I do like both Sues. And I think it's really sweet that in the new one that she immediately does feel bad, though.
Yeah, I do like that quite a bit. I like that she immediately felt bad. She was honestly still pretty nice to Carrie, even like right before they started throwing shit at her.
Yeah.
Chris instigated it in the remake. But, like, she offered her a tampon, like, but tossed it and immediately, like, everybody's throwing shit at her in the remake. But still, she immediately felt bad. She only threw one thing at her and that was it. She didn't throw anything else in the remake.
What is another scene?
Another scene? It's not very significant, but when Tommy asks Carrie to prom the second time, and Carrie's mom is home in the remake, or not in the remake, in the original, but not in the remake. Mm-hmm. I thought that was an interesting turn. I quite liked that she was really nervous about her mom possibly coming home while he was there, because she knew she was going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Even though she has nothing to do with that. That's just Tommy wanting to ask her to prom. So I quite liked that. But trying to find something really significant.
Well, it doesn't have to be significant. I think the next scene that we can talk about is probably the getting ready for prom montage. Yeah, so the montage in the remake, I have to say, I like more than the original, because it doesn't last nearly as long. And then I know in the original it doesn't last very long either, but in the remake it's not that long at all. Neither of them last long, but the thing is, I think I prefer the remake than the original.
Yeah.
Because I think you get a little more of, like, the guys part getting ready. And I like that, because it's a little more entertaining. You can see them, like, goofing around a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's not just them, you know, like, standing around and stuff.
Yeah. And just talking about the ruffles in their suits. Like, come on, guys. And I do like that they're just boys being boys. That's what boys being boys should be, by the way.
Yes.
Just them goofing around and whatever.
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be.
But I do like that. I thought it was, like, really good.
Oh, a blatant thing that I didn't even think about until just now. The fact that Carrie's mom in the remake works in a dress shop.
Oh, yeah.
And Carrie is readily available for, like, fabric and stuff. Whilst in the original, we don't really get context for where she got her fabric from, because we know mom's not going to have pink lying around the house, because it's the devil's color. Like, because it's red. But no, yeah, that one I did find interesting, the fact that, Carrie's mom works in a dress shop, because it fits her character. Yeah. Because in the original, she is seen at her sewing machine sewing something up. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I did like that. And the fact that, she confronts Sue Snell's mom, who's there to pick up Sue's prom dress. And, I mean, I like it, but also I don't like it, because she's not as blatantly crazy Christian as she is in the original.
Yeah.
And again, I still like Julianne Moore's performance, but...
But also, I mean, it's of the time. Times change. Their, I guess, like, perspective on things will change. And their, I guess they're more... like, their personalities will change to be more internally a lot of the time, rather than blatantly saying it out. Which, honestly, it's still, a lot of them are still, like, how Carrie's mom was in the 70s. But as times change, they are going to be a little more, not, like, reclusive, but I guess...
discreet about their emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will fucking say their opinions. Don't get me wrong. They fucking will.
And don't get me wrong, I still think the scene was really good.
But it's not as, like, vocal points as the...
Of course, Carrie's mom can't really cause a scene in her workplace, otherwise she'll get fired.
Exactly.
Like, especially with a customer? No.
Exactly.
And I did take note throughout the remake that Carrie's mom expresses, like, or shows self-harm in a lot of different ways, and uses it as, like, either a coping mechanism in some places, it seems, because you pointed out that you think she might have, like, social anxiety, or when Carrie's around, uses it as a manipulation tactic, which I thought was really interesting to add. Because she does hurt herself in the original, but not nearly as much in the remake.
Actually, from what I read about, it's actually because she is atoning for her sins.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
So she's hurting herself because she's atoning for her sins.
You could just go to a church and confess, but, you know, whatever.
She can.
There's healthier ways to do
this.
this.
That's how they used to do it. And if she's more of like a traditional Christian, obviously Christians don't do that anymore. No. If you were going by like deep traditions and stuff and you wanted to atone for your sins, you would harm yourself.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
I actually like that now that you've mentioned it. Let me see here. I do want to talk about the differences with Carrie's prom dresses. Because you and I both agree that her dress looks much better in the original. And that's not to say that the remake isn't pretty. So I do
agree, but the thing is, we can both agree that each dress just fits each girl.
Yes, I have to agree with that.
Yeah. But if we had to choose which one we like better, it's going to be the original.
It's going to be the original by a landslide, because it's more... I think what they were going for with the original, and this is just my opinion, it seemed more ethereal, I think.
Yeah.
Because of the way Sissy Spacek playing Carrie carries herself in the original, in that particular scene, she's really, in that moment, she feels beautiful, and the dress makes her...
I feel like she finally feels safe, and she can be who she wants to be without, like, the nagging presence of her mom.
Yes. Yeah. And I did find that the difference when she's getting ready to go to prom, in the original, she just pins her mom telekinetically onto the bed, whilst in the remake, which I did like, she locks her mom in the prayer closet. Mm-hmm. But then killed it immediately by making the lock weld shut.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn it.
That's what I didn't like that when she, like, welded the lock. I was like, man. But it's still cool. It's still kind of cool to see. It is kind of cool. And I will give it that.
I do have to point out that she makes a house collapse in on itself, so what makes us think that she can't just weld a lock shut?
That's true.
So there's that. But I did like that she did that, and I do like that her mom busts out of the fucking closet with her bare hands, which is really scary. But to be fair, there's also a crack from when Carrie was locked in there earlier.
Yeah.
And she screamed and the door cracked, which I thought was cool. Although...
Should we talk about the prom scene?
In a second. I do want to point out the prayer closet in the original, in my opinion, much scarier than the remake. It's
definitely
much more claustrophobic. It is darker. It is smaller. And Jesus is not there in the original. It's just that creepy Saint Sebastian statue.
Yeah, they say that it's not supposed to be Jesus, it's supposed to be Saint Sebastian.
Yeah. But in the remake, there is a Saint Sebastian, and there's also a Jesus. And a painting of Jesus.
Apparently. But yes.
But yeah, let's move on to the prom scene. First thing that is notable for me, is when Carrie starts killing people in the original. Nobody is spared. If you're in that gym, you are not getting out alive. And that includes Miss Collins. But in the remake...
I noticed that.
In the remake, she saves Miss Collins from being electrocuted. Although picking her up by her throat probably wasn't the best idea, but whatever. She's doing a fucking forced choke on her. But, yeah. Also, those electric wires moving around. It reminded me of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yes.
With the plug dogs.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, same here.
And Carrie can fly in the remake?
If she could lift herself up.
I thought that shit was so fucking stupid.
Same here. But I do think both are pretty cool scenes.
Yes.
I do think both are pretty, pivotal scenes in the movie for this character.
I do like that they try to make it a little bit more modern with the fact that, by the way, they filmed Carrie getting tampons and pads thrown at her, which, firstly, they posted on the projection screen at the prom, and it's illegal because you're basically showing off, firstly, a minor's nudes, so child pornography, charges for all of you, if you're over the age of 18. And also, it's just I like that Billy in the remake points out that this is an assault thing with the bucket of blood.
Yeah.
And that him and Chris are going to have to skip town because the police will be after them, which you and I were like, no, don't do that, because then they'll make you more suspicious.
Yeah, like, I was like, that's even worse if you fucking skip town and they suspect you. That's even fucking worse.
Yeah. Which prom environment did you like more? Decoration-wise, set-wise, whatever. Which one did you like more?
So, the prom in 2013 reminded me of my prom a little bit, and I didn't really like it. Honestly, I think the original, like, 76 prom looks more fun, to be honest.
Yes, because people are, like, going ham in the fucking original one.
Holy hell yeah, they are. Dude, and I like the music, too. For fucking years, I was like, what is a song playing at prom? I could never find it because it's uncredited.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's uncredited.
Damn, I could have Shazam that shit for you.
But also, if you just like look up Education Blues on YouTube, you will find it like really fast.
Yeah. Okay.
You find it really fast. It's just the thing is you cannot find that song because it's uncredited.
That's weird.
But yeah, for the people who have been looking for that song that plays during the original prom scene, there you go. Educational Blues.
There you go. I do really like... I don't know, we're not... Excuse me, talking about characters yet. I do like Tommy in both of these movies.
Same.
Because he's just sweet, no matter what. He's a little apprehensive at first. More also, so in the original, I
think both like, scenes when it's just, like, Carrie and Tommy at the prom work very well.
Yeah.
They work very well. Their chemistry is so good for both of these, like, pairs of actors.
Yes.
So well.
Yeah.
Love it. And honestly, I guess the next one we can talk about is the Chris and Billy death scenes.
Yeah, I can tell you which one I like more. The one I definitely prefer, because it's so bombastic and insane, is the original, and it's the fact that Carrie makes them blow up and fucking flip shit like
I like that a lot
times, and I think it's fucking great.
I like that so much. But I also, the only thing I like in the remake, I don't like how she leads up to, like, you know, stopping the car, breaking the gravel and stuff like that on the street. I don't like that, like, I don't like that there's just one explosion for it.
Yeah, and then the car is not harmed from the explosion at all. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not how that works.
The only thing I like from the remake is seeing Chris's face being just
through
stuck
the windshield.
In the glass.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I like.
That was freaky. That I did like a lot.
But like, honestly, the original's death scene for those two, fucking phenomenal. I love it so much.
Yeah. I have to say, I like the fire of, like, just the school in general in the original more, because there's more of it. And it's more chaotic, I think.
You see more of it.
Yeah.
Is what that is, though.
And there doesn't feel like there's enough carnage. It feels like, to me, in my opinion, somebody could, like, get out in the remake. Whilst in the original, nobody's getting out in that shit. Which,
honestly, they did get out in the remake, as we fucking find out. Like, Sue got out, fucking the gym teacher got out, and some other students that were at prom got out.
Yeah.
Because she did not kill everybody.
No.
Going back to the prom scene.
Uh-huh.
Where the bucket falls, I still don't believe in the original Tommy was, like, dead by the bucket. I think it could have knocked him out, but I don't think it killed him. I think the fire killed him. Whereas in the remake, that was at a really high place. That could have, like...
And the bucket was angled differently.
Yeah.
Because when the original and the bucket falls on Tommy's head...
Well, I saw the original. It's not, like, the top of it where it's, like, the open part of it.
Yeah, it's the open part that hits him on the head.
No, it's not. It's the middle of the bucket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, really? Okay, yeah. Well, either of those would not have killed him.
No, but... Because that's such it's a low, it's just a low place to have the bucket. It would have
knocked him out or given him a concussion. It would not have killed him.
It would not have killed him. That fire that she started in there definitely killed him.
But the remake, it was so much higher. And it hits him with the butt end of the bucket.
Force. Yeah, with so much force with the end of the bucket.
It also helps that he fell over with his eyes open as well. That's like, oh yeah, you're dead. Shit. Okay. Yeah. And he actually bleeds as well.
Yeah. So you can believe that he's dead from that bucket.
He fucking dead, bro.
In the remake. I like that, honestly. That was like one of my favorite parts in the remake.
Yeah. I also, before the prom, they have the slaughterhouse scene where Billy, Chris, and one of their buddies goes to get a pig for the pig's blood to pour on Carrie. And they kill the pig with several hits with a sledgehammer in the original, but one, which I appreciate in the remake because it's just one and done. That's all. You guys know how I feel about animals getting hurt. Mm-hmm. But I didn't like how enthusiastic Chris was about slitting the pig's throat in the remake to drain the blood. I was like, why are you so excited about this? Which, to be fair, she was telling Billy to hit the pig over and over and over again. Get it, get it, get it. I just think both scenes, the remake and the original, are both disturbing.
Also, a little fact for the remake.
Uh-huh.
Billy, when he kisses the sledgehammer, apparently the actor got sick because it had fucking pig poop on it.
Yeah, I heard about that. You poor bastard.
That's sad. I felt bad for him after I read that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, the dude that plays Billy in the remake looks like a big fucking scary ass beefcake, but you know he's probably really nice in real life. And I wrote this down in my notes, and I know it's irrelevant, but I wrote it down.
Scary dude, but probably nice.
Yeah, but probably nice. But no, what I wrote down was like, there's always some jackass named Billy. I have to say this every time we watch a movie with a guy named Billy in it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there's always a jackass named Billy. No matter what you watch, there's gonna be somebody named Billy, and he's always dick.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't blame Stranger Things for that, because everything happened before Stranger Things, and Stranger Things was just following that fucking protocol.
Yes.
And it's just so funny that you noticed it now.
Some jackass named Billy.
Because I just think it's so funny that she's noticing this now, and I've known this for so fucking long because I've seen these movies.
To be fair,
repeatedly, every time she like points it out, I think it's the most funniest thing ever.
To be fair, I watched Stranger Things before any of these movies that we've talked about.
That's why I think it's so fucking funny.
I'm like, there's another one! Take a shot! Fuck. It's funny. I think it's really funny. Because, again, there's always some jackass named Billy. Like, no matter what. Even in Sleepaway Camp, our very first podcast episode, there is some dude named Billy that's being a jerk. Like, it's funny. I like it. I would like that to be a running joke for us. I would like to have merch, and I would like to have the merch be like, my face being like, there's always some jackass named Billy written on it. Please. I want that to be a thing. Somebody make art of that and send it to me on Twitter. I'm begging you.
Because we could just get it in font.
Huh?
We could just get it in font.
That's true. But... Or it could be a compilation of all the different Billys.
Oh my god, yeah, we could have that in the font, and then just like several fucking characters that were named Billy.
Yes! Let's do that. That'd be so fun. Oh, please. That'd be so funny. Oh my god.
Okay, I think the next scene we can talk about is Carrie going home.
Oh god, yeah. Both are like, damn. She had a rough night.
Ooh. Yeah. So in both we do see Carrie just like walk home, take a bath, get cleaned up, and she confronts her mom. But
one thing I do want to make note of when she's in the bath in the remake, and I actually kind of like this touch, she immediately feels regret for what she has just done. She's like, I'm sorry, and she's crying in the bath, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But I think I also still like the original in that aspect more, because Carrie doesn't regret that shit. Because they've tortured her for so fucking long.
Honestly, I don't think she should regret it.
No. She did it.
Yeah, she did it.
We don't condone murdering your bullies. This is just for the podcast. This is just for this particular movie.
We're speaking movie-wise. She doesn't deserve to feel remorse for it, honestly.
No. Because she's been through hell and heck. And she still lives in I
Yeah. I I do like the original because, like, all the candles and stuff.
That's really scary. I'm like, damn, that's a fucking fire hazard.
It's so funny because I watched, like... So here's the thing. I was going to compare, like, behind the scenes stuff with the original and remake, but I could not find shit for the remake because all I found was just interviews of, like, the actors talking about the movie, but not specifically anything else. Even the director just talking about the movie, talking about the characters, but nothing else. All I could find for the original was everything that I wanted, which was characters, the development of the movie, special effects stuff, and, like, the story behind some other things that they did in the movie, like with the school mascot being a wasp.
I thought it was a bee.
You thought it was a bee because it has the same, like, color scale.
Yeah, but also, like, it just looks like a cute little bumblebee as a centerpiece of the prom scene. I'm like, it's a bee.
Because they wanted wasps. They didn't want a cute mascot for it.
You failed. Just with the decorations, though.
They said about that, just for the decorations and the fact that, like, De Palma deliberately wanted the school to be named, like, Bates High because he really likes Psycho. There's, like, other instances where they do talk about, like, the development of Carrie herself.
Yes.
And this other stuff that I wish I wrote down, but the thing is, since I couldn't find anything for, like, the 2013, I didn't really think it was... I did think it was, like, a waste of time just trying to figure that out, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I couldn't compare the two, or at least bring something for the remake, then I don't know.
It's okay.
You know?
Shit happens. That's how I felt when I couldn't find shit for The Haunted when we talked about that ages ago now. Like, I literally could not find interviews. I couldn't find behind the scenes shit. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
And I was real bummed about it.
But if you guys want to watch, like, that 40-minute thing that I found on YouTube, it's literally just, like, the Carrie documentary, like, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's like the first or second video that's gonna pop up.
Well, you could leave a link.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll leave a link.
Yeah.
Because it's very good.
Yeah. Man. And then... I don't think... Yeah, no. Okay, so the difference between the death of Carrie's mom. In the original, she dies while she's pinned up by knives and shit. I don't think Carrie ever... No, Carrie does take her down. Never mind, she does. And she crawls into the prayer closet with her. But in the remake, Carrie immediately feels really bad, takes her mom down, and her mom dies in her arms. Which is not a big change, but I think it's a really cool one that they added.
Yeah. I think it's more, again, for Carrie to feel remorse for what she's done.
Yeah. Because, and it makes sense in the remake, because the mom is, even though she's god-awful and she had what was coming to her, she still had the lightest touches of, like, loving Carrie throughout. Whilst in the original, while Carrie still feels remorse, the mom was just blatantly abusive. 25/8. And just, like, ugh. She was, woo! Shit! She was awful.
It was fucking sad. And, honestly, we can talk about Sue's pregnancy thing.
Do we have to?
Okay, well, actually, no. We'll get that when we get to her character.
Okay.
So here we go with the ending scene.
Okay.
So what I found out was that there is an alternate ending for the remake.
Oh, really?
Where that, like, court hearing does not happen. And in the alternate scene, it's Sue leaving a flower on Carrie's grave. You do still get, like, the cracking of the tombstone, of the gravestone.
Which I think is fucking stupid.
But then you do get Carrie's hand popping out, which that scares Sue into going into labor. And while she's getting scared and trying to have her baby, she screams even more because Carrie's arm is grabbing her from the hospital bed.
Man, that would have been cool.
Yeah. It's only in, like, I think the Blu-ray edition.
I want to
where you can get that, where you can get like the deleted scenes and stuff. So I've heard from other people and everything that I've like read online that a lot of the deleted scenes would have made this movie a lot better, which is honestly the case for most movies.
Man, that sucks.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't like it. Because with the original, it was just a dream.
Yeah.
It was literally just a fucking dream.
Which is usually a bad thing to pull, but that's a nightmare. That's different.
Yeah, that's completely different. Because you get that, like, the mom having, like, a phone call talking about how she's, like, kind of doing better with everything that has happened, but she's still traumatized by it, and that dream sequence solidifies that she is still traumatized by it. Yeah. Whereas in the remake, it's real life, like, it's actually happening, where she just leaves a flower and then the like tombstone just cracks, which leaves it to believe that there might be a sequel because of that.
God willing, there won't be.
I don't like that. It's been years.
It's been years.
It's been 8 years. It's not going to happen.
No.
9. Oh yeah, 9. But yeah, that's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah. Oh my god, I fucking hated the pregnancy thing.
Yeah.
Fucking movie. It was so stupid. It was so irrelevant. It's a girl. You don't know? Bitch, how can you tell? She's not even showing yet. She wouldn't be able to tell yet. You wouldn't be able to tell yet. The fuck?
I don't know, man. I didn't like it. I thought it was super irrelevant. But I do kind of see where that would probably be something that Kimberly thought of for the movie, and it could have been something, but since the studio, interfered or whatever, and they probably just kept that in because it's just like, well, it's in there.
No, it's in there all right.
Yeah.
At what cost?
A dumb subplot.
That's a dumb subplot.
That doesn't even like end with anything.
No,
there is no like ending to it.
You could have You could have shown Sue having the baby, and since we know it's a girl, she could have named it Carrie.
Yeah,
because I thought that's what was going to happen, and that did not happen.
The pregnancy thing did not result in anything, and I was just like, well,
why is it here?
Yeah, the hell.
It's there for sympathy for Sue, even though we don't need it. We already know she feels bad. And if that's the literally only reason why Carrie doesn't kill her, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because we all know, at least original Carrie would have killed her no matter what.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Baby or not. That bitch would be dead. Mm-hmm. But I digress. Whatever.
Shall we get into characters?
Can we give our ratings for these movies first, or do you want to do that until the very end?
No, characters first.
Okay, we'll say that for the very end. Characters first. So now we're gonna compare characters. This shit's pissed me the fuck off, bro! Also, another thing with the prom thing before we move on to characters, why the fuck were there 4 different shots of the blood being poured on Carrie in the remake?
You know what? You're fucking right. I hated that. I was like, why?
One shot. 2 shots would have been fine.
Yeah, okay, so, like, here's the thing. 2 shots would have been fine. 1, where the blood is almost gonna go on her, and then the second shot should have been when the blood does cover her. That should have been it, but there were 4 separate shots of before the blood hitting her. And I'm like,
and 3 out of those 4 had the blood actually hitting her.
Yeah. Why? I don't understand. But okay, whatever.
A good thing we would have been able to do is show the blood pouring from above and then cut away into the crowd point of view of the blood pouring on Carrie.
Yeah.
Don't let it make contact with Carrie until you get into the audience.
Exactly. But no. So, let's get into characters and let's talk about the title character.
Okay.
Carrie.
Alright. I'm having a mental breakdown. The remake pissed me off. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. Okay. You want to talk about Carrie first?
Yes.
Alright, we'll talk about Carrie
first. She is a title
first.
character.
Yes, we'll talk about Carrie first. Okay, so,
what can we say what we haven't said already?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, because we talked about it already. Like, and I'll say it again, because the original Carrie, I feel more sympathy for, which is dumb because you're supposed to feel sympathy for her no matter what. But the remake, I just like... And don't get me wrong, I still feel bad for her, but not nearly as much. Because, I don't know. I don't know.
So here's the thing. I always thought, like, the original Carrie was, like, really shy, timid, and very antisocial. But, like, she was really pretty sweet and innocent once you can talk to her. You know?
Yeah. I think, okay, no. Here's why I don't have much sympathy for the remake Carrie. There's one little line that they talk about, excuse me, in the remake, where Carrie is basically had told everybody that they're gonna go to hell except for her and her mom. And I think that was, like, a big ugh for me, because I was like, that doesn't seem like a thing Carrie would do, because she has religious trauma. But
no, I don't think they said it was Carrie that said it. I thought it was her mom.
They said Carrie said that.
Oh.
Yeah, they specifically said Carrie said that her and her mom were the only ones who were not going to go to hell. And that's their justification as to why they threw tampons and pads at her and told her to plug it up. Which, I guess...
Still, that doesn't, like, condone that shit.
No, of course not. And if it was a thing she did in middle school, then, like, drop it. You're seniors in high school now. People change. Between middle school and high school, people change. It could be either for the better or for the worse. It depends on who you are as a person and what your social stance is.
Yeah, but also with that information, that means that Carrie had been in school all her life. Yeah, whereas in the original, she was homeschooled.
She was homeschooled.
Until the district made her go to school.
Yes. Yes.
That's the huge difference, honestly.
That is the huge difference. Because
that's why I say that I don't think the remake Carrie is very antisocial as the original Carrie.
Yeah, because Carrie, in the original, would not have the social cues. Because she was homeschooled. And she would be shy around a bunch of students. Because, God knows, there's students fucking everywhere around her. And that's really intimidating, I'm sure, for somebody who's been homeschooled their entire life.
Exactly. That's like the main difference where I feel like Chloe's Carrie is not as antisocial, not as, like, scared or timid, because she's had those social cues. Yeah. She knows it, but she just deliberately does not talk to anybody. Yeah. Which is fine, okay. Like, I used to do that in school. I would deliberately not talk to, like, a lot of people, especially in middle school. But the thing is that...
The thing is that she doesn't have any friends, even though she's been going to that school seemingly her entire life.
Yeah, and the fact that everyone knows who she is, even before high school, the fact that everyone has known her, and she still doesn't, like, have any friends.
That's not realistic. Which, I know it's a girl with telekinetic powers, but, like, realistically, this doesn't make any sense.
Here's another thing that I want to talk about with Carrie. Saw that, like, you know, the director and everyone for the original wanted Carrie to discover her powers out of emotion, out of something that happened to her, like, emotionally, like, huge. And also, like, in the remake, they also said that they wanted her powers to be more emotionally driven.
Yeah.
But with the difference between them is, like, Carrie in the remake starts to, I guess, like, mess with her power, see what she can do exactly. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't really... like, that took me out of the thing where she discovers that it's out of emotion.
It feels like a Matilda thing.
Yeah. That's what I felt throughout the whole entire, like, remake one. Whereas in the original, you can see that is just emotional based.
Yeah. Also, a really fucking stupid thing that I really have to point out, I really don't like that they did with Carrie in the remake. Why the fuck is her mouth constantly open when she's using her fucking powers?
Exactly. I don't like that.
My God. Weird. Does she have a deviated septum? Can she not breathe properly? I feel that, but, like, close your mouth. You're gonna catch flies. Please. You're gonna get blood in your mouth. It's gross.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. It was just really weird. But if I had to choose which one is my favorite Carrie, it would be the original.
Yes. Of course. Naturally. Hey, babe. Come on. I have a soggy Cheeto. Oh, my God. Yeah. He wet.
Oh, my God.
He wet. Hi, baby. You do a fan? You want to say hi? He said no. I'm gonna lay right here. Okay. Soggy boy.
Alright.
You have a cat. Moving on.
Next character. Billy. Which I want to point out, this was John Travolta's very first film. It was his film debut.
Yes. Billy's a dick. I think, though, the remake Billy is more intimidating than John Travolta. In my opinion.
I think it's just because he looks a little beefier, but that's it. But the thing that I put was that, like, Billy from 76 is just, like, a self-centered as, like, his girlfriend, and he's just, like, a horny teen that follows her
rocking and rolling and whatnot.
Yeah, and he's also, like, he has, like, super abusive behavior towards Chris.
Yeah.
Whereas,
he smacks the shit out of her.
Yeah, he does. She also does, too. So.
They're mean to each other.
Yes.
They don't need to be together.
And, like, for Billy in 2013, I just put that he just feels like a douchebag mean guy who just wants to appear strong.
Also seems way too old to be dating Chris.
Which fits.
Which does fit. Gross. He needs to go to prison for multiple reasons.
And honestly, there wasn't really much to his character other than he just looks intimidating.
Yeah. He does, like... I do like the fact in the remake he does point out that this is gonna be, like, battery charged.
So I do like that he understands what's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
But I also like in the original that Billy doesn't care. He's in for it because from his knowledge, he's been embarrassed. Or his girlfriend's been embarrassed, basically. Yeah. And has to get back at Carrie. Also, how the hell is she saying, I hate Carrie White while giving with BJ?
I don't know.
Micropenis? I mean, what?
I don't know. That's her.
That's her.
So honestly, if I had to choose between which one I like better, I do like the original one better.
Okay, riddle me this. Imagine the original, the personality of the original, with the body of the remake.
That's scary as fuck.
That's really scary.
Yes.
Yeah, no, now that you've mentioned it, yeah, the original's scarier because he's more intimidating. Honestly, the dude from the remake
he just looks intimidating, but I like that he does acknowledge that, like, shit's going down.
Yeah. He seems more down to earth than the original one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Not in a... I feel like I'm less likely to get into a fist fight with him than the original.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'll put that.
I feel like the original, I would fist fight him.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with the remake, though.
The remake,
I'm just like, I give him the stink eye, but that's it.
The remake guy, I give him the stink eye, but also he looks like he can give really good hugs. Like,
that's true.
Crack my back for me, dude. You look like you can do it.
That's true.
But let's move on. Really. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so the next one I have is Margaret.
Fuck. She's scary in both, but she's more scary in the original simply because she's more blatantly abusive and doesn't even try to hide it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Which both is scary because,
both are scary. Both are very
in their
abusive in their own way. Both are very fucking strictly religious in their own way.
Yes.
But I do think Julianne Moore plays the role a little bit better.
It depends on the scene.
Depending on the scene.
Because some stuff she definitely did better than Piper, but Piper definitely did some stuff better than Julianne Moore.
Piper scares the shit out of me.
Piper's horrifying.
Oh, hell yeah.
Piper is really scary.
Oh, definitely. Oh, my God. They're both scary, but the thing is, I wouldn't want to be in the same room as, like, Piper Laurie's Margaret. Because, God damn.
She's gonna beat the shit out of me with a Bible.
Exactly.
Which, to be fair, Julianne Moore does smack Carrie in the face with a Bible, too. But,
but she's not, like, as threatening or as strong as
and she's
Piper
not
was.
as violent.
Yeah, she's not as violent. Like, if I had to choose between them, I would go with the remake.
And at least Julianne Moore's character has a little bit more of a somewhat loving touch in some aspects, but even then, that's, like, manipulative as shit.
Oh, definitely.
And this is a really weird way to, character to compare her to, but she kind of reminds me of Mother Gothel from Tangled.
Yes. I can see that.
it's like manipulative wise, she reminds me of her.
Because the thing is, like, you can see hints of in the original where it's like she's kind of sweet to Carrie,
like when she's getting ready to stab her in the back. Yeah,
but it's not like prominent as it is in the remake, where it's like she will be as sweet as possible, or like try to be non-threatening to reel her back in, even if it's just for a moment.
And I do think that they even stated for the remake that they did want to acknowledge that Carrie and her mom do love each other, and there's actually love between them two.
Yeah.
But in the original, yikes. Yeah, no. Boy, she's scary as fuck. And don't get me wrong, Julianne Moore is still scary as fuck, but she's not as scary as Piper.
No, like, if I had to deal with either one of them, I would want to deal with the remake one.
Yes.
Definitely, hands down.
I'm used to being manipulated. It's fine. I can do that. I can deal with that. But fuck I'm scared of Piper.
All right. So, let's talk about Sue.
Sue. Yeah. I quite liked Sue in both. I didn't care for her pregnancy subplot in the remake, but I still quite liked her in both.
Yeah, so I put for Sue, like, at first she's one of Chris's friends who contributes to the bullying of Carrie, but during her punishment, that's when I think she self-reflects.
Yeah.
It's a little later than how she is in the remake, but she, like, self-reflects and turns out to be, like, a really nice girl who just wants to make things right and treat Carrie how she's supposed to be treated.
Yeah, and I think in the remake, it makes me feel like that she does understand immediately afterwards that, oh, yeah, like...
She's like, oh, this is fucked.
Yeah, this is fucked. And I do think in both versions, they understand that Carrie's got a different upbringing than everybody else.
Yeah.
Her mom blatantly makes her avoid biology class, I believe, or, like, the sex ed part of biology, because it's sinful.
Yeah.
Even though it's not. Like... It's just basic human anatomy. And
honestly, I like both.
I do like and this is like back to one of the scenes when Carrie first gets her period, I do like in the remake that she expresses that it hurts.
Yeah.
Which, it's true, periods fucking hurt. Like, they suck, dude.
Yeah, if you say you just got your period, how is it hurting that much? I'm like, bitch, that shit hurts. Before, after, during, right when you get it, it hurts.
If you don't know what it is, then and you're in pain and you're bleeding for no reason,
you're gonna think you're dying.
And she does. She thinks she's dying.
I thought I was dying.
And I think, and Sue, this is what I liked in the remake with Sue, is that it's just your period, here's a tampon, like, before, like, everything goes off and goes crazy, because she is trying to be nice there, but then I feel like Chris really... Sue's a follower in that kind of sense at the beginning, where Chris sets stuff off and then she gets in on it, and she thinks it's funny. At first, she doesn't throw stuff except for that first tampon, but like she's like, "This is fucked up."
Crowd that has formed during that, and it's like,
yeah,
oh, no.
And Carrie's like really just freaked out.
Mm-hmm. I do like both performances of these actresses.
Yeah,
though in both these movies, I think they did a really good job portraying this character.
Yeah. Pregnancy subplot aside, yeah.
Yeah, I still think the pregnancy thing is really stupid.
It's same, but whatever. Moving on from Sue, I reckon.
Yes. So moving on from Sue, we're going into Chris. And honestly, these are the two things that I put. So for 76, I put that she's a raging bitch, she just wants to make Carrie life a living hell, and just thinks about herself and how she can come up on top.
Yeah.
And then with 2013, I just put, she's very bitchy, but honestly tolerable. She's like the mean rich girl who thinks she can get away with things, and she's very privileged.
Yeah, because she does bring her daddy in on it.
Yeah.
Daddy's gonna sue the school because I'm being unjustly suspended. Shut up.
So here's the thing with the remake. She did take a video of Carrie of what they did to her, and that's also
posted
why
it on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's illegal!
That's why they also brought her into the office. Well, no, she initially brought her dad and the teacher in because the gym teacher had slapped her in the face, and she's like, oh, that's bad. Like, you can't do that to a student, and, like, cuss at her, so she can't do that to a student. She can't do that to a minor.
Did she slap her in the remake?
Yes.
I must have missed that.
She did. And then the teacher, like, twists it, and she's like, well, I heard that someone took a video.
And it got posted.
Yeah, online. So, and they're all like, just show us the phone, and you won't be in trouble, you know? Like, if it's not on your phone, then you won't be in trouble.
Isn't that invasion of privacy? Shut up.
Yeah. She doesn't show them the phone, and she immediately just fucking goes.
Which I have to commend her dad, because he knows, like...
That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah.
He could be a real trouble for that.
He's just like, just show them the phone and get it over with.
If you have nothing to hide, just show the phone.
Exactly.
But she has stuff to hide. I don't know why she didn't fucking delete it, but again, she probably gets off on that kind of stupid shit.
Dumbass. And in the original, it's literally just like plotting, just revenge, I guess.
Yeah, she's plotting. She's plotting. Yeah. The original, she's like definitely mean and evil. In the remakes, it's just like she peaked in high school.
Oh yeah,
she peaked in high school.
God, I don't fucking know, man.
She becomes a nurse. Like,
oh my god, oh, I can see that. Like, if she didn't die, she would become a nurse.
Yes,
I can see that.
Yeah, you guys ever notice that? You notice how the mean kids in your high school become nurses and doctors, or just caregivers of some kind, teachers as well.
That's bad.
That's bad.
But honestly, I do think 76 is my favorite Chris. Because I like that she's super bitchy. I like that she's the mean.
I like that mean girl. Same. She's just annoying in the remake.
She's very fucking annoying in the remake.
It's just like, oh god, shut up.
There are two different types of mean girls, and I really like the 70s and 80s mean girls, whereas the 2000s and like 2010s, I don't. I think they're very fucking annoying.
Yeah, I think it's because in the 70s, they're very committed to the whole mean thing.
Oh, hell yeah, they are.
They're really committed. They're not like snooty and like, well, they are snooty,
but like it's a different type how they bring themselves up, you know, how they make themselves appear. Whereas it's more annoying, and it's like with the newer ones, it's like it's a matter of fact type of like, yes, I mean it, I'm gonna like do this and that to you.
It's
but
like,
it's
like the fucking trend going on TikTok where people are admitting that they were mean, and they were like, I'm bitchy, but she was pure evil. Like, oh, so you're admitting to being a bully in high school? Okay, I'm gonna avoid you at all costs because you suck as a person. And it's not the matter of admitting that you were mean in high school. It's being proud of the fact that you were mean in high school that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is
stupid.
Fucking gross.
Also,
Grow up.
I like that there's a distinction of when I said that 76 Chris is a raging bitch, and then 2013 is just very bitchy.
Yeah. Okay, there's a difference.
A huge difference between those two.
There is a difference, that's for sure and certain.
Alright, this next one.
What, Red? Oh.
She's laying here.
Why are you yelling? You opened your mouth and you didn't even meow that time.
I know.
What are you doing? He's being a baby.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's wet, so he's grooming himself. It's fine.
Okay, so next one I want to talk about is Tommy.
Tommy!
And with this, actually, this is Ansel Elgort's first film.
Yeah.
It's his film debut.
I'm gonna be honest, I'd never heard his voice before. When he first started talking, I was like, his voice is a lot deeper than I thought it was gonna be. I was like, holy shit! That gave me the same impression of, there's these dudes that you and I both watch, Sam and Colby. That's the same kind of reaction that I had to Colby's voice when I first heard it. I was like, oh my god, it's so much deeper than I thought it was gonna be.
Amazing.
God. And it's, I don't really have any complaints for either Tommy. Both are really sweet. I like both.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm for like 76, I literally put like, he's great at writing poetry, an actual decent guy. The fact that he's like Sue's boyfriend is like really cute. And the fact that he's like kind of reluctant at first when Sue's requests him to like go to prom with Carrie instead.
Yeah.
But you can tell that he genuinely wants to let Carrie have a good night at the prom and genuinely is having so much fun with her.
Yeah. He sneaks a little kiss from her at prom in the original.
Cute. Yeah, it's so cute.
Which I wouldn't normally agree with, but like it's just one night. It's fine. I don't condone cheating, but like it's one time. Let Carrie feel special, okay?
Exactly. So the thing is, what I told her is like, if things turned out okay, I do think the three of them would have been friends.
Yes.
I really do think the three of them would have been friends.
This is
and if
so
like
sad.
Sue and Tommy explained everything to Carrie, she would have understood. They would have been friends, and it would have all been good. I fucking love them together. And in the remake, I do like that it does take a little more for Tommy to be, like, I guess, convinced to do this.
But it's more the fact that he wants to go to prom with Sue.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't want to ask
Not that he
Carrie.
doesn't want to ask Carrie. Not that he doesn't want to spend a night with Carrie.
It's more thinking about what Sue wants, because he wants her to have
because he knows
that prom experience.
Exactly.
Because he knows that most, if not all, girls dream of having a special prom experience. And then Sue bounces back and like, well, Carrie probably wants that too.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, you two are fucking great, okay? I love that. You both are awesome.
And he's very much into the idea, and he does kind of poorly not fights, but like argues back with the gym teacher, because the gym teacher like confronts them about it, and he does kind of he doesn't argue back really well, honestly. But he does get his point across. They do get their point across where it's like they really want to do this, and he like genuinely really does want to like help Carrie.
Yeah.
As much as Sue does, because he sees how like bad she feels and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a complaint I kind of have with both, is the fact that they don't really explain the situation well to the teacher.
Yeah.
But that's just nitpicky, I think.
I mean, it's realistic, honestly.
It is like, realistic.
How well can you explain this to a teacher?
Yeah.
That is just gonna be like, no, you're out to get her because of what you guys have done previously. You know?
Even though Tommy has nothing to do with
No,
that.
Tommy has nothing to do with it. But the thing is, it's Sue, and the fact that she's friends with Chris, and she's in that group that they're in. Yeah. And Carrie knows this, so she's like, I don't trust this at first.
What's up, dude? Aww. He's up here. He's getting scratches. Come here, babe. Come say hi. He's like, no.
That happened.
He's itchy. It's okay. Oh. Hey, baby. How's it doing? The baby. You have a few words? He does. Oh, I can see it being picked up on the mic. That's cute. But yeah, both Tommies, I like them both a lot.
I do like
They're
both
both really sweet. They both go out of their way to make sure Carrie has a good time. Like, they both encourage her to dance with him and just have fun, because, you know, it's prom. It's senior prom. It's a one-time thing.
Yeah. See, I like both characters.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints about the remake.
I don't
Tommy.
either. Like, if I had to choose between both of them, honestly, I don't give a shit either one.
They're both sweet.
They're both really good. I love them both. I can't choose between them.
And they're complimenting Carrie the entire, like, you're beautiful, you're really pretty, and just, you're amazing, just being sweet the entire time. I'm like, damn, this is just so sad.
So, the next character I want to talk about is Norma.
Norma didn't really stick out for me in the remake.
So what I put for Norma is, well, for the original, is that she's one of Chris's friends. There's like not too much of her character, but she is like Chris's right-hand woman when it comes to like the scheme at the prom, and she's very out there and loud.
Yeah, that's another thing. Chris didn't let people in on that. It was just her, Billy, and that one jackass that was with them. I don't think she let anybody else in on that in the remake.
No, she did. In the remake?
She didn't in the remake.
She did. She did.
Did she?
She did.
I don't remember that. I believe you, but I don't remember that.
So it was her, Billy, and like twins that were in on it too. But the character basically in the remake that replaces Norma is Tina.
Oh.
And honestly, there's not much of her character like at all in there to get a sense of who she is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of Tina, but I literally cannot put a face to her.
I can't either, and that's the thing. So honestly, we can't really compare these two characters because you don't get a sense for Tina, and you kind of just, like, forget her because she's not really important.
Yeah, but literally, like, I remember Norma not only because she's more significant in the original, but also because she's wearing that stupid fucking hat the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
She's wearing that fucking stupid red baseball cap, even at prom, which I think is dumb, but whatever. I even made the joke, I was like, if she took that hat off, it'd probably take her brain with her and she wouldn't be able to function. Probably. That's why she's wearing it all the time.
But yeah, we can't really compare characters with these two. Norma's the only one that you get a full sense of.
Yeah.
Where, like, she wants to be included. She's very enthusiastic about what the hell's going on with Chris.
Yeah, she thinks it's hilarious, dude.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah, she thinks it's hilarious as Tommy gets bonked in the head with a bucket and dies. But whatever. It's fine.
And the last character we have is Rita. So for 76, I put that she's very protective of Carrie. She's like a mother figure to her.
Yeah, she needed one.
She's very strict and physical towards her students that bully Carrie and seems to mean what she says to Carrie. And I do think she means her threats with the students that bully her in the gym class.
Yeah.
Whereas in 2013, she's just like a normal teacher looking out for her student. She's tough, but she doesn't she doesn't sound like she means anything, whether it's like the punishments or
until she smacks somebody.
Whether it's like the punishments that she gives or the caring words that she gives to Carrie, it doesn't feel like it comes across to anybody. It doesn't feel like she means anything, you know?
Although, I do have to say I still like her character in the remake. Not as much as the original, but I do like the character in the remake. But I have to agree with the fact that it doesn't seem... And it could be like a director's kind of thing.
It kind of could be. But I just don't think she seems genuine in her care or her, like, you know, being a teacher.
But I think with both scenes with her telling Carrie that if she would, like, put herself out there, like, curl her hair, put on a little bit of makeup to, show off her features.
That one does seem a little genuine, more genuine than any of the other scenes that she's in.
Yes. But not as much as the original.
Yeah. Like, honestly, if I had to pick between the two, it would be the original more.
Yeah. Definitely.
Honestly.
And don't get me wrong, I really like both still, but the original definitely a lot more genuine and genuinely, like, cares about Carrie.
Yeah.
I think she still cares about Carrie, but more in, like, a student kind of sense. Protective of her student, just like you said.
Yeah.
In the remake. But, yeah, I definitely think she's more motherly in the original.
Also, to note, Judy Greer plays the remake gym teacher, which honestly, I love her. I think she did really good in the Halloween movies, the recent Halloween movies. I think she's good in it.
Oh yeah, she plays like Laurie's daughter, doesn't she?
Yeah, she plays Karen.
Gotcha. I forgot her name was Karen.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so out of all of this, we are rating these out of 5 tiaras. Mm-hmm. And what would you rate 1976 Carrie?
I rated it, I just want to make sure, because I don't want to... I gave it 4.5 out of 5 tiaras.
I also give it a 4.5 out of 5 tiaras. And what did you rate 2013's Carrie?
1.5 out of 5.
I honestly don't give it any.
No?
I don't give it any.
I only gave it that because, like,
I don't even give it credit for the scenes that I liked or the characters that I kind of liked, because it felt, the whole movie as a whole felt so half-assed.
Yeah.
I don't give it any.
Yeah.
I can't. It's a 0 for me, man. It's not worth it.
I do give it a 1.5 for some of the characters, but that's literally it, because
I can't even give it for that, man. It's just, it's not worth it, because this movie is not worth anybody's time.
Boring.
Yeah, like while we were watching the remake, one of my friends messaged me during it, and she was asking me, like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just watching, like, the remake of Carrie. And she asked me, like, oh, is it good so far? And I'm like, no, honestly, it's not worth anybody's time. It's pretty lame.
It's bland, broski.
Yeah, like, if you want that movie, just watch the original. Yeah. That's it, honestly.
Watch the original.
Just watch the original if that's what you want.
Or if you, for some ungodly reason, want to watch both, or the fucking remake, go for it.
Go for it,
I guess. It's available for free on Amazon Prime. But you had to rent
the
original.
original is, you can rent it for like $2.99 or $3.99, one of those two. Or you can watch the remake for free because it's free with Prime. It's included with Prime.
Yes.
So yeah.
But yeah, that's all my thoughts. Is that all your thoughts? That's all my thoughts.
That is all my thoughts.
Alright. Well, little spooks, that's gonna be it for us today.
So join us next week as we watch 2008's Repo, the Genetic Opera, and you can watch that on Amazon Prime.
Don't forget to rate us and tap that bell icon on Spotify so you don't miss an episode. If you want to follow the Guarded by Demons socials, we're on Twitter at Guarded Demons. We're also on Anchor, YouTube, and Instagram at Guarded by Demons. Excuse me, I almost got choked on my own tongue. It's fine. We also have an email, guardeddemonpod@gmail.com, if you want to write in and suggest some topics, movies, or games we could play on the podcast, or tell us how we did. Be nice or I'll cry. And if you rate us 5 stars on iTunes, because we're on iTunes and Google Podcasts as well.
Yes.
If you rate us 5 stars on iTunes and write a review, we will read it right here on the podcast.
It's gotta be 5 stars, though.
It's gotta be 5 stars.
It's gotta be 5 stars. So we also created Patreon.
Yeah!
So joining our Patreon, depending on the tier that you choose, will get you access to our Discord server, early access to weekly episodes where you can listen to the episodes a day early, exclusive episodes just for the Patreon, shoutouts at the end of every episode, and more. So if you can and if you want to be a part of the Patreon group, go to the link in our description and just, thank you so much for supporting us. And honestly, if you can't contribute to the Patreon, you don't have to worry. Like, it's not mandatory or anything. We're just happy that you guys enjoy our show.
Hell yeah. We figured it was time to start a Patreon. It just, we thought about it and we thought it would be a good idea.
Yeah, like we were figuring out like what we can offer you guys, and we thought that these things were like pretty good for what we can do as starting usually with our like means to make money for this show,
because we'd like to get a camera and stuff.
Yeah, so again, one of the perks is like a live Q&A every other month that we're planning to do, and as of right now we can only do it through like our Discord, which every tier on our thing, on our Patreon, will give you access to the Discord.
There's 3.
There are 3 tiers. We have
Spook, Ghost, and Demon.
Yes. And if you get access to our Discord, you will have a little role and you will be color-coded in our Discord server so we know which tier you got.
Yes.
So yeah. We hope to have that ready for you guys.
And hopefully we'll add more to it too.
We will. In time we will.
In time we will.
In time we will. Right now this is all we can offer.
We just want to get it started.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited.
So once again, I am Kimberly, and if you want to follow me on any of my personal accounts, I am the Lesbian Spook on Twitter and Spooky Scary Lesbian on Twitch and Tumblr. I play some horror games whenever I can on Twitch. Usually it's just purely like Resident Evil. I try to branch out, but usually I just go back to Resident Evil because it's my comfort game. And if you follow me on Twitter, I reblog a lot of like dumb memes about music, advocating for lesbian rights, and I reblog a lot of like movie stuff, horror movies specifically, any news about horror TV shows, horror movies, anything like that. I retweet those. On Tumblr, I write a lot of dumb horror fanfiction sometimes. Lately, don't have the time to do it, but I mean, go fucking read whatever I wrote.
I edit those for her.
Yes. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, all the links will be in the description. Don't forget to like the video, comment on our video, suggest us stuff that we could probably do on the podcast, and subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any notifications for new episodes.
Yeah. And I'm Lexi. If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's at SemiProEagle. I play a variety of games there, and I also draw from time to time. As we're posting this, hopefully later on today, I will have my hands on the new God of War Ragnarok. I'm really excited about it. I'm also going to get my hands on the Carrie so we can finally play that together. That'll be very fun. I also have a Twitter and a TikTok. I forgot the word for TikTok for a second. It's fine. Both under the handle SemiProEagle. On Twitter, I just retweet a bunch of stuff that I like and yell at NFT accounts that try to hack into mine, or call out fatphobic pieces of shit. That's what I've been doing lately. And yeah. And on TikTok, I post clips from my Twitch that I find really funny. So just give me a follow there. That'd be great. But yeah. And that's it for me.
All right, guys. Stay spooky.